the Heavenly, the Most High, for the opportunity to be able to see you guys, be able to see, smell, taste, hear, touch, move, feet up, whatever, and be truly thankful and for forgiveness as well, as always, as always. I hope all of you are doing well, and I'm primarily making this video for my clients, the clients that I chauffeur around. I find that people who have known me for years and years, from friends to family members and so on and so forth, don't find any interest in what I do more than my clients do when I talk to them. And maybe because they just know what I do, and okay, that's what you do. Good. I appreciate that. It's not really a big issue. And look like I got my mic off. So now I got to start all over because the mic was off on Facebook. I want to thank Heaven, the Most High, for the opportunity to be able to see you guys. And hopefully you're doing very, very well. Again, thankful for sight, smell, talk, hearing, movement, turn my head back and forth, breathing, all that. I'm very thankful for that. Always do. Each and every day I acknowledge that. And I'll never not acknowledge it any day. Let that be said and let that be done. So, I was encouraged by some clients yesterday, and I've been driving now part-time since July of last year. Excuse my baggy eyes. I got up at 4 o'clock and I decided just to stay up because I've been doing a lot of personal things as far as how I take in information and so on and so forth. And I'm listening to Napoleon Hill videos, and also listen to Stoicism videos. So that's been a catalyst for me actually being and how I feel the way I feel now these days. I got on my shirt. This is not the shirt I'm wearing to work. My shirt is out there drying. The neck got a little something more, so I had to wipe the neck now. All right, so this is for my clients. I am totally encouraged by clients. But yesterday, I'm not gonna say it's the most encouraging client, but they definitely was like very encouraging. And I've got more encouragement from this hour ride than I've gotten from family, friends. I ain't gonna say co-workers, because I know them longer, 36 years. I've known them, and they've been very encouraging as well. But I've got more encouragement from them in an hour ride than I got encouragement from people I know, whether it's around here, whether it's places I visit, whatever. It was just utterly fantastic to me. I'll say maybe the second, because I want to make sure they know. I'm gonna send them this video because I have their phone. Most of my clients, I have their phone. I have millionaire phone numbers in my phone. I have phone numbers. Remember, people who take limos aren't scratching to take limos. They take limos because they can't afford to take limos. And whether I'm dropping them off at private airports, Philadelphia International, picking them up from Newark, like I picked up this lovely couple yesterday, so on and so forth, they're not scratching to get a limo. They're not saying, oh man, you got $5, you got $2, come on, let's get 17 people together so we get one limo to drive around the corner. These are not the people I'm meeting. I'm meeting people who are well-to-do, I'm meeting people with businesses, and I'm meeting millionaires. That's who I chauffeur around, right? I know. And then some people usually, they not, I mean, I don't do party, because I don't drive the stretch limos and all that stuff. I drive personal, professional limos, all right? And I'm saying professional because it's usually professional people who have professional money. All right? So let's get that out the way. That is totally out the way now. So, we were talking. Oh, let me get to the one before I talk about that. I picked up the owner of the Philadelphia Union. I think it was last week or the week before last. I picked him up, him and his 2 children, from the private airport. Can't say the name of airports, can't do that because I got confidentiality. I can't say names, I can't say where I pick people up from, unless it's just a general airport or something like that. But when it comes to the private airports, I can't mention that, can't even talk about it like that. And I was driving him, they had a game, I think it was the opening game or maybe the playoff game, and I was driving him and his sons over to Chester, because that's where the Philadelphia Union soccer team stadium is. So again, he has, I heard of him, of course. I'm not really a soccer guy, but, you know, I'm engaging them. Son's back there chilling. So he said, well, you know, he mentioned something to get me to talk about me. And I said, well, yeah, I'm a musician, you know, I play guitar and everything. A lot of times when I tell them I play guitar, that's how I start them off. He's like, oh, no, you're a musician, what you play? I said, well, I can play most instruments. I'm not accomplished at any, but I'm a producer, I'm a songwriter, so I might not be the greatest on anything that I play, but I have 10 albums out. I'm a Grammy member, so oh, you're a Grammy? Yes, I'm a Grammy member. I haven't won any, haven't been nominated yet, but I am a Grammy member. Oh wow, now I got them. Now they want to really hear more, and I'll tell them more, and so on and so forth. But I can be here in my area, and I'll just say in my area, because people who listen to this know what I'm saying. I can be in my area, and I can be at a karaoke night, I can be at open mic night, I can be singing good, singing well. But before I start singing, I can say, all right, a lot of y'all may not know my name is RaJuR and blah, 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 I might mention the Grammy thing, may not, and so forth. I got albums, I go to my website, and blah, 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 Now, some people who are really interested in you and know you will probably pick up the phone, blah, 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 blah. Maybe. If they've never been there before. If they've been there before, they've seen it before, all right, I'm not expecting anybody to. But I know people that I've never met before that I've sang in front of, so on and so forth. I said, well, check me out, Ryder. And, okay, so now, let's move on. So, the owner of the Philadelphia Union said, oh, you're in the music? I said, yeah. I play guitar, blah, 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 blah. I said, I have a website. You want to check it out. You can check out my music, and then on my website, it'll take you to where you can listen to all my music. Even buy some if you like. And he's like, oh, okay. There you are. Oh, there you are. And show the sons. Not in my community. That ain't happening. It just doesn't happen. So I'd like to thank you, Mr. Owner of the Philadelphia Union, for taking the opportunity to look up my website while I was giving you a ride to the Philadelphia Union, the team that you own, the stadium of the team that you own. Thank you, sir, for looking up thank you, taking the time. I appreciate you. And I have his number as well. Yeah. So, now to the couple yesterday. So it started out really quiet because a lot of times, I don't really engage clients in the conversation because, I ask them, you okay, you comfortable, everything okay, you feel okay, you need anything, blah, blah, blah. And I always carry water with me. And they was like, happen to have some water? I said, I think I might do. You know what I mean? And I gave them a bottle. Oh, thank you. They just got off the plane. They got a nice cold bottle of water. Oh, it's nice and cold, too. Yeah, I say I carry it around, throughout the day because I might need a drink and so on and so forth. All right, cool. So then, I look, and I can peek back. I want to make sure they cool. I peek back through the mirror. I can tell. So they were back. They were on their phones, doing their thing. A lot of people, sometimes people go to sleep because I'll put you to sleep. I'll put you to sleep. 5-star. I'll put you to sleep. So, and then once it was done, I asked them again. No, you're fine. And somehow, they asked me the question that got me to say, oh yeah, I play guitar and so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. Before I tell you everything we pretty much talked about, by the end of that, they said yo. And they didn't say yo like that. They was like, wow, you've accomplished a lot. You've really accomplished a lot. Now, I haven't seen them ever in my life. They took the time to look me up. They ain't had to. They could do like regular people do when I told them my name. They ain't had to look up anything. Went about their business. They might look up when they got home. What up? No, they took, oh, okay. We've accomplished a lot. That's like him tell them other things I do outside of music. Told them all the things I accomplished. Musician. Served in the U.S. Navy for 3 years on the aircraft carrier USS Constellation. I was out there during the Iran hostage crisis. Only people, not in my community, only people I hear thank you for your service, not my community, or like police officers, clients, and people might have to tell them, oh, thank you for your service. Not my community, forget about that. We're just talking about. All right, so after we did that, we were talking. His wife said, you should start a channel called, I gotta call, I'm gonna text him, well, cause I ain't gonna text him else early. I'm gonna text him, like, what was that channel you want me to start? I'm like, I never heard anybody just really suggest that I'll start a YouTube channel. I said, well, I have like 5 YouTube channels, but really only one main YouTube channel, which is what I'm talking on now. And Facebook, I ain't really talking about Facebook. And you should do that because you're so inspirational and you can probably tell people da 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 da. I mean, not my community. They don't want to hear what I have to say. But thank you so very much for encouraging me to really think about doing this channel. I know I got to set up a whole different way from what I'm doing now. I got to expand it, move out, kind of take it away from what I'm doing and just what we talked about in the car, what you admired about me, not just being in the Navy and all that, but hey, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to call Mrs. when I get the rolling the day. I'm saying, what channel you wanted me to start? Because I want to do it because they asked me. See, I picked these clients up at an airport in Newark. That's an hour and 7-minute ride from where I was taking. And by the end of that ride, these well-to-do people, because again, they ain't take Uber. They did what? No. They took it. They got executive limo service. What they did. 2, they ain't had to scratch up money. Give me $1 here, $2 here, $5 here. You know what? I can't do it. I'll cancel. That's not. No. That's not the clients I have. I don't have those clients. Okay. These are the clients that ask me about me, who don't scratch up dimes and nickels and quarters to get a limo. All right. I say that not to be sounding like I'm vindictive, because I want the people that I've met to see what this is for me, and to understand that I have 3,000 YouTube subscribers. And I told them, I have many people say, man, you should have 100,000 YouTube subscribers, bro. You really should. But I don't. I have 3,000. Yeah, you should. I just met these lovely people. They didn't do it. They didn't have to say anything. They was getting a ride home in a limo. And then they started telling me about what they do. See, we're encouraging each other. Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. We're going back and forth. I mean, not my neighborhood, but we're going back and forth. Strangers I never met before. And by the end of our ride, not only were they encouraged about everything I was telling them about, from grounding pads to this, to that, they gave me a tip. A $30 tip. Not 2, not 10, not 15, not 20, not 25, but a $30 tip. Now, I don't ask for tips. I've gotten $100 tips, I've gotten $50 tips. I've gotten over maybe, I better shut up, no, don't tax on tips, right? I don't know. I've been working for a whole year. And I got a lot of tip money. And let me not be mistaken. If you, my community, think that I get a tip because I'm this poor old RaJuR out there hustling to make a couple dollars, that's not why they gave me a tip. You might want to think that's why they gave me a tip. Oh, poor old guy, he needed a couple dollars. He out here limo driving and blah, 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 blah. No, they paid for the information. They paid for my kindness. They paid for my exceptionalism. They paid for the way they got home safely. They paid for the compensation. They paid for everything they thought they should pay for. And they ain't had to give me a dime. See, my community, I can't get them to buy a song off of the internet. In my community, I can't get them to listen to a song for free. But this lovely couple can give me $30 in an hour ride. And they had to give me nothing. Because their gratuity is included in the ride. If you've been a limo driver, which I know most of you have not, you haven't done a lot of things. You haven't done a lot of things I've done. But, and this is new for me, but not now, it's been a year, that the gratuity is included in the ride when they pay for the ride. It's already there. The gratuity is there. They know they paid the gratuity in the ride already. So if their ride is a $300 ride, $400 ride, $600, whatever, the gratuity is taken out. Now, not everybody took, but most people took. They tip because they have someone they can respect enough to tip. Even though they've tipped already. It's already there. That tip is there. So the tip was already there and still gave me $30. And it wasn't because of the information. It wasn't because I told them something that they didn't know about. Because he told me something I ain't pay him. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm saying, so me, if you're a client that I've had, and I'm giving you this video, I'm letting you know I really appreciate you. I appreciate you taking your 30 minutes, because that ride from the private airport in Philly to the Philadelphia Union Stadium for the owner of the Philadelphia Union was like a 17-minute ride. Did he give me a tip? He gave me a tip. But you know what he did do? He took the time to look up my information I gave him on the phone, in the car. Not next week, not later, not tomorrow, not 3 hours from now, then. And then he added on to say, I was about to ask you to sing a song. And I said, sir, once I write them songs and I record them songs in the studio, you'll be lucky if I remember the 7 words in that song. He started laughing. See, there's a difference between people, and I understand I've been asking the wrong people for support. I spent too much time asking my community for support. And the reason I started I wanted to be a limo driver, because I knew I was going to meet people, true people, people of substance, people who had something to offer me. See, my community don't have anything to offer me. They don't. They've proven that to me already, that they have nothing to offer me. The only thing they probably could offer me is just looking at my music, download the song. Now I have some great friends, because you know I'm not talking about you. You know you're not part of the community. The people who know and I know love me and appreciate what I do, you know I'm not talking to you. Understand that. Understand that. You do. And to my clients who may look at this video, understand that me doing what I've done over my lifetime is rarely acknowledged by even family. It's rarely acknowledged, but it doesn't, you know what it does for me? It motivates me to do more. It motivates me to just take it to another level. When that couple said last night, you've done a lot. I said, you know why? It's not because I wanted to prove anything to anybody. I mean, the Navy was just the catalyst to let people know I'm not dependent on nobody. I don't live with my parents. I never going to live with my parents. I stayed there for a minute, but I never lived with my parents. I moved my house, my parents' house. I put my clothes in my parents' house. I never did anything like that. I had to show that I can be my own man. I had to show I can represent my family, that they wouldn't be embarrassed. And I could do all the things my dad didn't do, even though my dad did a lot of things that crafted my lifestyle. See, what you really need to understand also, whether you're my clients or whether you're my friends, is I'm multiracial. My mother had a Caucasian grandfather. I got the pictures. My aunt showed me the pictures. I seen the pictures. It was a picture of him with his Indian wife. So now I have a grandfather who was Caucasian on my mother's side and had an Indian wife. Saw the pictures. Right? So most of the people who know me, whether you are a subscriber or whatever, know what this means. And if you want to know, comment down below if you don't know, and I'll tell you exactly what this means. But you do notice there's only one finger on both of these hands that's separated. And just cognitively thinking about it, you know what I'm saying when I do that, right? So, what I'm going to say is thank to my clients. Whether you gave me a tip or not, thank you for being interested enough in your half-hour ride, your hour ride, maybe your 2-hour ride. I got to go to New York today and pick up a client. Well, I got to take a client to New York. No telling what we get to talk about. We might not talk about anything. All my clients, I don't always talk to all my clients. Some of my clients want to sleep. Some of them fall asleep. Some of them, I still get a $100 tip. I ain't remember the ride. $100 tip for what? You sleep. Right? But I'm saying, I appreciate all my clients. Whether you tip me, whether you don't. It's not about the tip for me. It's about the relationship. And the reason I took on being a chauffeur, because I knew I will meet more people of substance. You see, for me, friends and family don't do it for me like that. And I'm saying that, again, my friends and family who know you support me, of course, I'm leaving you out of that thing right there. I'm talking about the people who claim to be my friends, the people who claim to be my family. Those are the people. I haven't got any encouragement. I don't expect any. You know? I can say if I had $1 million, they'd be coming out the doggone walls. They'd be coming up out the ground. Some of them. Maybe some of them won't. But what I'm saying is, I accomplished a lot in my life. And I did it without that support. And you know who you are. You know if you supported me, you know I'm not talking about you, right? I got you. So, I just want to thank the couple. I really do. And I want to thank all the clients that I've picked up that showed real interest in what I said and what I talked about. And it wasn't always about music. We were talking about grounding. We were talking about meditation. We were talking about me becoming a vegan. I was talking how big I was at one time. All that. And by the time we were done yesterday, they yo, really? Wow. You should start a channel called this. See, I wouldn't get that from my community. Because, see, let me just say this to you. And my clients, you probably won't understand this because you're mostly well-to-do. People who are not well-to-do like to hold back people who are trying to do things. That's because they want to keep you in their not well-to-do pocket. And that doesn't mean $1 million. You can be in my community and have $1 million. That don't mean this is right. That don't mean you don't have mental issues. That don't mean you don't have health issues. That don't mean you eating right foods. That don't mean anything. You having $1 million mean nothing. How many rappers in my community used to be millionaires and now they're broke? They don't have any money. They don't have a pot to pee in. They were millionaires at one time. And the thing about it is my community is still singing their songs of failures. They're singing the songs of failure because they're more interested in dancing and music instead of learning and adapting to what is happening right now. Whether it's financial, whether it's mental, everything is just chaos around us right now. It's never been this bad ever. Or maybe it has, but not in this generational sphere of how it's doing. Like, there's been some tragedies back in the day we all know, we heard of, so on and so forth. Crazy. You know, Vietnam, all that stuff. That stuff was happening. A lot of people lost their lives doing that. Going in the Navy. We lost a lot of people from Edison High School, all these different high schools. We lost many people in these wars back in the day. It looks bigger to us now because technology is so much bigger. Back then, technology was like this. Now technology is like this, so you're seeing more. But it's probably not much more than what it was back in the day when we had technology like that, right? So it's not. So what I'm saying now, back when I was 18, I started this venture of getting to where I am now in my career, in my professional career. You know, it's just different. I have a platform as well to do this. And as I told my lovely clients, that I started out just talking about fragrances. And fragrances, so I tossed. So while we talking about fragrances, let's get a commercial. I don't get any commercial stuff. I'm not hustling sponsors. I don't do that. Precious Liquid. That's the name of the company. I think they no longer make this. They're still out there, but they don't no longer make this. From my good friends, I would like to talk about them. Perfumology. That would be 325 North 3rd Street. That's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Make sure you go down there and tell them RaJuR sent you. Or call them on the phone and tell them RaJuR sent you the call. And let them talk you into buying lovely fragrances. Because he just put like 3 or 4 new indie houses in his space, in the store. I ain't gonna say the store, it's not a store. It's more than a store. It's more than a store. It's extravaganza of nososity. Anyway, we're spraying mandarin. What happens with this is, once it dries down, it got a beautiful dry down. It lasts pretty long, about 5-6 hours. You can really smell it pretty good. And once it dries down, it changes from this mandarin type thing to like this kind of an incensey type, not really smoky, but like greeny. It's more greeny. The thing I was talking about yesterday, I was talking about a fragrance that had like tomato leaf. And you don't smell the tomato. They say you take a tomato, you really don't smell the tomato. But if you smell the leaf, you'll smell the greenery of the leaf. Same thing with this. It's a mandarin, so you probably smell the leaf of the mandarin. Because mandarin do have a leaf, but it's got to grow out the ground. So I smell that. I rarely smell the nozzle, especially when I got a whole bottle in my hand, but I'm doing it now. So, again, I wanted to do this video for my clients who may be interested in what I'm doing, but I have to give them the whole story. I can't give them how I got to providing a service for them, a safe and efficient service. I pray every day for safe and efficient driving. You know, we got a lot of people around us. I know a lot of people that's like that, and a lot of people want to keep you in that. Don't let anybody keep you here. Make sure you do your thing on the side. If they want to do all that stuff, just give them a break, go on about your business, get back to me when you got this together, and we'll wrap. Other than that, it's just don't mess with people like that. People try to keep you down. People who are not trying to do anything, and this is encouragement for people who might look at this, not just my clients, but other people. Don't anybody keep you down. Nobody kept me down to doing anything. My dad tried to execute keep me down when he said, you ain't coming to my house any other time you want because you graduated from high school. And 2 months later, I was in the Navy on the aircraft carrier in the Indian Ocean for the Iran hostage crisis because I couldn't wait to get out the door. Unlike some of these adult people in my community that still harbor adult people in the community because they're lonely. See, the problem is a lot of people are lonely. A lot of people are scared to be by themselves, with themselves. Because then they have to introspectively look at themselves and say, what have I really accomplished in my life? And people don't want to face that, so they get around other people who haven't accomplished anything, and for that moment they feel like, oh, I accomplished things because this person haven't accomplished anything, so now I got to one up on this person who never did anything. It's not even about that. It's not about that. My life has always been about me. I realized a long time ago we only getting one of these and going around. I don't know anything about what's going to happen afterwards. I don't know what the perils are. I don't know what the rewards are. I don't know what's coming back. T. Marie said, I ain't coming back no more. Been here before, because she felt as though she felt that she was, cool enough in her life that she ain't had to worry about coming back. You know what I mean? If you want to get to that, it's not spiritual, that's just reincarnation. And people come back. People believe in reincarnation. If I come back, I want to come back as me. I want to come back as a millionaire. I want to come back as broke. I want to come back as me. And do the same thing over, but add like 4 or 5 more things to what I've done now. So let's talk about what I've done now, and we're going to end this video, because this should be the way I end this video. And I'm going to start my channel after I talk to my clients and what they want me to name the new channel. And we'll get that popping off. Because I'm sure they will support my new channel because it's their suggestion. So they definitely going to support my channel. It'll be more than I get from my community. So, in 1979, I joined the Navy. I stayed in the Navy for 3 years. I intended to stay longer, but the true story is a friend of mine who had got put out the Navy came back to visit. I decided to hang out with him for the night because we were really, really tight friends. And what had happened was that night was, I said, well, let me come pick you up because he wasn't allowed on the property, trying to make it fast. And I picked him up and we went to Versailles, we rode around Fresno, and he had got this habit of smoking weed and so on and so forth. So when we was coming back on the base, really I wasn't supposed to bring him on the base. I should have left him outside the gate. He came inside the base, all of a sudden the lights lit up. I don't know whether I ran a light, I don't know what it was. California Highway Patrol was right behind me, coming inside my barracks, coming inside the base. And I don't know why these lights lit. But I do know he had marijuana. I said, bro, you gotta start throwing this stuff out the window, bro. I mean, you in my car, and it wasn't in my car, it was my friend's car. And I mean, throw it out. So he throwing stuff out, he throwing out weed. Come on, man, throw it out. Yo, yeah, throw that one out your ear, throw it. It was too late. Wrecked my Navy career. That's what happened. Before that happened, I had already had orders to come here and work in Warminster, Navy Air Development Center, because I worked on a special box that helped airplanes get fuel in the air. That's what I did towards the end of my career in the Navy. I worked on planes, I worked on A-7Es and so on and so forth. But in my career, I made sure, my responsibility was to make sure that if a plane is running out of fuel, that my box would save the plane and it would save the pilot's life. Because if they ran out of gas and they went to catch up with a tanker to hook up to, and something didn't work with the box, or he went to hit the switch and the box didn't open, that's my responsibility and my supervisor's responsibility. I've never lost a plane. I never lost a train. I'll tell you about that in a few. I never lost a plane. Nobody ever got killed because my boxes didn't work. My planes came back to the aircraft carrier deck. On time, on point. Thank you, sir. You enjoy your flight? Yeah. Come on, let's park that thing. Come on, let's park it. Yeah. Okay, let me check your wings before you fold them up. All right, let me check your aileron. Let me check your, in the back. I forgot what you call it. Let me check that for you. Navy. All right? When I got the Navy, I was doing music while I was in the Navy. I was in a band in the Navy. I was still writing my first album on a cassette. I still got it around here somewhere. I did my first album I was using like a cassette player to make an album. It's like 3 or 4 songs on it. And I did that while I was in the Navy. So when I got the Navy, I was going to get me a studio. I know I was going to build a studio. No doubt about it. And as you can see, I have a studio right now. I've always had a studio. I have never had a studio since 1984. Not ever, never not had a studio in one form or fashion. I've always had a studio recording. All right? Because that's part of my life. It's my wife. It's my wife that's never going anywhere. Never. I'm married to music forever. That's my true wife. And my true talent that I was given by the heavenly. All right? So, with that being said, Mr. Navy thing could have been here at the station, but there's forks in lives. So, that fork prong got shut down. We had to go to another one. So I started doing some stuff, driving, like all right parking. Yeah, I am driving again, moving cars around across from Hahnemann Hospital, and these people had Porsches whatsoever. Instead of me really parking them, I'd take them around the block, and then I couldn't find a parking space. I had to take them around the block and come back in another way. I'm driving Porsches and whatever. Hey, whatever. So that was cool. That was fun. All right parking. Shout out to my man. I don't know if he's still around. A long time ago at what's it called? Whatton Vine, wherever Hahnemann was. I did that. So I was done, and then I went to get some benefits for unemployment because I got the Navy and I'm American. Then I got tired of doing that, ride my bike every day, have a car, ride my bike all the way downtown every day to work at All Right Park and all the way from North Philly. But that was cool because I was thin then, probably about as thin as I am now. To tell you the truth, I was 195 when I got the Navy in 1982. I'm about 195, 200 right now. But I've been as big as 280. That'd be encouragement for you. So, then I went to get my, and it was like, Scepter's here. Would you like to work for Scepter? Yeah, well, doctor, I forgot his name. Last name was D. He'd be in the back. Go back there and sign up. 36 years later, I retired in 2023. I've driven a bus. I've driven a trolley. I've motored a L train, and I've motored a subway. All the time while I'm doing that, I'm putting out albums. I still got a studio. I'm still putting out albums. Every 4 years, I'm popping an album out. This is an album. Every 4 years, I did like every 4 year thing. And I'm popping out albums. Popping out every 4 years. Popping them out. You know what I mean? So, that's what happened. You know what I mean? Then, once I retired, I became a paraprofessional for the school system. But because I wasn't getting paid during the school system, being a paraprofessional, because they closed during the summertime, and because I was part of an organization that farmed me out to these schools up here in Cheltenham. I had to find some other work. Like, so then looked at it, okay, cool. Took the test for that, took the Smith test, passed that. Drug test, background test. A lot of you can't pass a drug test if you want to. Whether you drink too much alcohol, whether you smoke too much weed, whatever you do, you probably can't even pass a freaking. You can't, because you can't stop doing things. You understand? You can't keep doing that. If you want to excel in this life, you can't be an alcoholic and you can't be a pothead unless you're comfortable with where you are. And if you're comfortable where you are, do what you got to do. But, I worked for Seth for 36 years. I never blew dirty. 36 years, I never blew dirty. And my friends never blew dirty. Because we realized we had a great job. Nobody got no time to be blowing dirty and losing their job and going to go to Eaglesville. We had some people who did that, but it didn't. So, during this time, I became a Grammy member, Grammy producer, Grammy artist, Grammy performer, Grammy musician, Grammy producer, all that. All of it comes, but it's all got Grammy on it because there's my Grammy stuff right there, right? So I did that, and of course, my community don't recognize that. Don't tell your Grammy. See, my community don't recognize that. My clients, you looking at this, my community don't recognize that. You do, and not because you was a client in the back of the vehicle or in the vehicle. But that's what you do. You want to know somebody who's accomplished. My community don't want to know what I've done as accomplishment. And that's okay. Because I don't need them to acknowledge that. Because they can't take it away. It don't matter whether they don't acknowledge it. I've already done it. So when you say to me, by the way, I'm a BMI publisher. So BMI, if you know BMI ASCAP, I'm a publisher. I have my own publishing company. I have my own LLC, Entertainment LLC. I have all of that. You will be interested in that. My community don't care about that. They don't care that I've done that. Some family members don't care that I've done that. Some people just want to keep you where they are because they feel better knowing that, blah, 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 instead of supporting you. And it is a shame that you have to say that about your own community. You know, but it's okay. Because what I realized is when you was in the back of the vehicle, when I was taking you where you had to be safely and efficiently, and Mr. Owner of Philadelphia, Tyrese Maxey. I've taken Tyrese Maxey to the airport. His girlfriend and his brother. I've taken him to the airport. I've taken a business owner that was a millionaire. He gave me $100 bill and said, "Why don't you come down to Florida? You should come down to Florida. You should come down to Florida." I got every inkling to know, and I have his phone number. That I can go down to Florida, and this gentleman would take care of me, not to give me money whatsoever. He'll probably put me in a position where I could be playing down there. I could be performing. I could be doing what I really want to do with my life down there, even if I'm gonna go down there in limo. I'm sure he can just, hey, talk to my friend. Go ahead. Give him a job. Shut up. Give him a job. It's my man right here from Philly. Give him a job. See, my community they wouldn't do that because they want to keep you there. They don't want to help you excel. They want to keep you there because see that way they can feel as though they got something on you for some reason because they haven't even done anything. I mean, most of the people I know, and I'm just being harsh about it. That's why when I tell people I need to change my demographic, I meant it. I meant it. I'm not doing things in the hood. I want them doing hood. Hood don't love me. The hood ain't getting no love back. I had to say that because I want you to know, if you look at this video as a client that I do around, that I'm a real person. I'm going to say what I want to say. And a lot of people in my community don't want me to say what I want to say. They want me to say what they want me to say, but they haven't accomplished anything in their life for me to say anything that they want me to say. So they hold me hostage by not supporting me in my music. But they think they're holding me hostage. I'm sitting back here with all this. But they think I'm going to quit. Well, we ain't going to support him. If we don't support him, then he might quit. He might give up being a Grammy member. And I've had people who I thought were my friends, I put them on my album to let Grammy people hear them. But see, my community don't even appreciate the fact that they were in a position to have Grammy members, Grammy voting members from all over the world to hear them sing. And do you think that any one of them people that I put on my last album, the RaJuR Project, ever come and say, "Thank you for putting me on your album"? I wrote all the songs besides the poetry. Not one. Absolutely not one person that you listen to that RaJuR album that I put them on. And I don't need them to beg me every time they see me, man, but they haven't said thank you not one time. In fact, I had to pay the sax player, which I ain't no problem paying him. But I took the time to help people in this business. I give everybody accolades, whether you're not a Grammy member or not. And I go and say that. We have open mic people. I'll go to open mic, and I'll go in. Sometimes I'll pass it, but you need to be paying me. I'm a Grammy member. You should be paying me to get up here and sing. But I would never say that. I would never say that. So, to my clients, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your support. I am going to start a new YouTube channel. It'll probably be aimed towards my clients. No, it won't. It'll be aimed at anybody. But I'm saying, I'm just trying to do the best I can. And there's one time I got, as far as I know, to go around. I'm not going to be stuck in a bubble doing the same old thing over and over every day that's doing nothing. And I don't need to be around people like that, really, to tell you the truth. But I don't think that I'm good enough, out of all I've ever done, to not want to be around people who are not doing anything. Because I want to help them to take their lives to another level. I've turned people into fragrances. They never had great fragrances before. Now I got a friend, I keep talking about her all the time. She had 5 fragrances when I first met her. Now she got over 100. And I'm talking about really good fragrances. Not just regular fragrances. She invested in really, really good fragrances. She never had an ounce of silver. Her brother did. She never had an ounce of silver. I turned her on to silver. Now she has silver inside, like I do, inside of where we keep our fragrances. She has silver with silver stands. See, I'm here to help people. I'm not here to be vindictive. I'm not here to keep people from growing. I've grown for you. I've taken the opportunity in my life, not just for myself, but to spread what I've known and what I do to other people that I know who don't really care. Because they're comfortable staying with themselves. A lot of them, they aren't comfortable with themselves. So they might drink, they might smoke, they might argue all the time, fuss and fight. Whatever they do, that's what they do. Well, I don't want anything to do with that. I'll say hi, I'm going to say bye. And for all of you who face the same thing, don't be around people like that. Do not be around people who want to keep you in the pocket. Don't. Change your demographic like I did. Find you a position where you can meet people who are influential enough that'll probably put you in a better position. Because I know my clients would. I know the clients I picked up yesterday, if they knew they can put me in a better position, they knew somebody, they probably would say, oh yeah, I know exactly who you can call. Not my community, that ain't gonna happen. I offered a couple of people in my community, I said, well, look, you come use the studio. Okay. You know who you are if you see this video. And that was rude. That was really rude. And I said, well, I'm gonna call my man, see if you wanna come on. Well, he's not available. Oh, really? Okay, okay. So you remember that, because I thought this young lady was cool with me, but you know, things happen. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, I'm an actor. I've been in 3 films. I was in 1 movie as the person I am when I was driving the subway. I was in 21 Bridges, and I was a subway driver. So if you see the subway moving back and forth, the doors open whatsoever, I was in that movie. Okay? I was in a movie that had a voiceover with Oprah Winfrey and Bill Cosby called This Is My Philadelphia. I did that way back in the day. Like I said, I've done 2 films. I've been in a music video by this band called, a country kind of blues band called Ghost Hounds. I was in that video. I don't act and model as much as I used to, but I'm with mainline models and talent out in Bala Kenwood. I'm with Backstage, and I'm also with Mike Lemon Casting. So I've done a lot. Just like they say, you've done a lot, you've done a lot. Yeah, and I'm still doing more. One time around in this thing, and unless you're coming back to do a do-over, which you don't know, all I know is what I read. I don't know anything about, okay, you get this life and you can do whatever you want, and you'll be back if you messed up to do it again. I don't know. Tina Marie said it ain't happening. So I'm just saying. So, again, this video is for my clients and let you know what I have to go through. I'm not out driving limos because I need the money, because it's not a lot of money. Even though some of your kindness puts money in my pocket, and I took my friends and they gave me a couple of dollars. I went and bought me, a large veggie Mei Fong. Oh, I'm vegan, by the way. There's only deuces I'm putting in vegan. In fact, I don't even want to do that. We're going to go like that, because I don't put up peace signs. I don't do what everybody else do. Only sign I put my hand is this right here. Be a leader, not a follower. Separate yourself from the foolishness. What was the other mantra? I can do a lot of these. Saying that be your own individual. Stop letting people tell you what you can't and can't do. Don't worry about what they do. You do what you do. If all you're doing is one thing, it's time for you to find something else to do. Find you something else to do. Because you're going to go around and you might just had opportunity on your last breath to really get a chance to think. And you'll say, daggone, I wish I had her. I'm not going to leave here saying I wish I had did anything. Because at this point, I've done everything I wanted to do. Everything I've ever done, I wanted to do it. And everything I wanted to do, I've done it. I became the Grammy member. I became a multi-instrumentalist playing instruments. I went to the Navy. I served my country. I'm an limo driver. I work with the kids, middle school. I've done everything I wanted to do. Everything I've done, I've wanted to do it. I wasn't forced to do any of this. I wanted to do it because the Heavenly, the Most High, gave me the opportunity to do this. So if the Heavenly gave you the opportunity to do something, and all you're doing is that, you, my friend, I don't care how many kids you got, how many friends you got, how many family members you got, I don't care if you taking care of the whole world. If that's what you did, that's all you got, let it be all you got. It's just too much out here to do. to expand your horizons. But a lot of people are lazy. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to experiment. They don't want to step outside the box of being alone unless it's drinking or hanging out with people and all that stuff. Some people can't stay with themselves. For 5 minutes, they can't sit and just be quiet for a second. And take 4 in, hold for 7, and let out for 8 with pierced lips. Or ground themselves to a mat to make sure their body is getting the right grounding. Because your heart needs to be grounded. Your heart is electrical. A lot of you don't know about grounding. You put all that other stuff in your body, bad food, all that stuff. You put all that in your body. But you won't even ground yourself to keep your heart beating. Because you know somebody who's 90 years old and all he ever did was jigabug and dance all his life, and he got a heart. And he's still living. What's the point of living if you've never done anything? What's the point of living if you haven't ever taught anybody that there was more for you to do in this life than to just sit around and let other people dictate your life and you're staying stagnant? Why don't you learn something so you can teach them? Of course, your community probably won't teach you anything. So now you go to a community that might accept the fact. And then you might go to a community that will teach you some things. Because this community here, they still dancing to Diddy music. Because all they like to do is dance. Life for them is dancing. And I have a friend, she like to dance. I like to dance too. I'm not saying I don't like to dance. Look, I can dance. I can get it in. But that ain't all my life. I don't wake up every morning trying to figure out where I'm going to drive, where I'm going to dance tonight. Or where I'm going to drink tonight. Where I'm going to party at tonight. So if this community of grown folk don't want to listen to this video, not my client community, we know they know. But my community of folks, let your children look at this video. Because see, you'll keep your children down so they can't be more than you. You'll do that. You'll send them to college. You'll do that. More often than not, they're not going to stay in college. You know that. They'll be back. But you'll send them to college. I've seen people send kids college, they come run right back home. Because they can't be by themselves for 2 seconds. They probably got to the point they need to be by themselves and maybe study or concentrate by themselves for an hour, and they couldn't help calling a friend, but they had to do something. They need their mind consumed with everything except working on them. And a lot of people in my community, that's how they roll. They might find one good thing they can do, and that's all they got. They can't teach you anything else. They can't show you anything else. They can show you how to drink and get high. They can show you how to eat bad food. They can show you all the wrong things that you shouldn't be doing, but they can't give you not one thing that you can take and give it to your child. And if you know I'm not talking about you, you know that. They can't give them nothing. Can't give their child anything. So their child's out in the street misbehaving. Their child's in jail. Their child coming back and hurting them. It's crazy in that community right there. And it happens in other communities too. I understand that. But I'm saying that it don't matter what community it happens in. It doesn't matter what things happen anywhere outside your life. You was given a gift of a life. And a lot of you don't appreciate it. You take for granted you're going to wake up in the morning, go to work, going to get off work, do this thing. You just take it for granted. Some people took it for granted, they never made it back home. Some people for granted, they got really, really sick. Some people took for granted and something else happened. Anything except for what happened. Everything don't have to be tragic. But they end up going to hospital because they ate some bad food and they throwing up all over the place. I don't know. But whatever it is, you get over it and you keep it pushing. And if you don't want to do it, tell your children. And if you don't have anything to offer, but you're just too stuck on the fact that RaJuR realdeepkool is sometimes arrogant and he says anything he want to do, I'm not going to show my kids him. I'm going to show them P. Diddy and people who sell themselves out in Hollywood. And teach them how to dance, of course, and YouTube, and show them how to not dress appropriately and dance, of course, again. And show them how all I do is party every 5 minutes. I'm at a party, I'm drinking, I'm throwing parties. Let's show them that. That's great. they're going to end up being great human beings. They're going to be the best drinker. They're going to be the best dancer. They're going to be the sickest people out there. Because they don't take care of themselves. They don't eat right. They don't have any good mental health. They can't be by themselves for more than 5 minutes. When they go to sleep, they can't stay to sleep. And the messed up part about this, and I'm done, I was going to 8 o'clock, and that's it. I got to get out of here in a few. I got to be on time for all my clients, which I'm always on time. Is that when you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep, that's because you got to deal with you. Unless you sleeping next to somebody. But I'm talking about somebody who's been alone. And I had no problem being alone, obviously. I've been alone in this place right here since 2013. I've been here. That's 12 years. I had a significant other. She was staying here a little bit, over and over, back in the day when I first got into this place. And I was going to marry her. I was engaged to her, but her son wanted to marry her, so I let her marry her son. If you know what I'm saying. Because that's the condition of women and their sons nowadays. Their sons are their husbands. Because that's the way it is. They don't have a man. And when they find a man, the son's still going to be their husband. Because he's going to tell them that he don't like the man. It's such a serious situation out here for this community right now. And instead of them being upset by what I'm saying, just chew on it. Chew on it. Wake up in the middle of the night and chew on it. Look, they have me wake you up at 3 o'clock at night. If you get up at 3 o'clock in the night, from what I understand, that's a heavenly thing. Get up. Chew on it. If you got to get on your knees and pray, even if you never prayed before, even if you don't believe in the heavenly. You notice I never said God, right? Because there's a lot of gods out here. There's Charlemagne the God. There's Oh My God. There's people who think they're gods. There's people who say they're gods, but they're criminals and crooks. A lot of God people out there. See, I'm not a God person. I'm a Most High person. I didn't come from a God. I came from the Most High. I came from the heavenly. Even though I've done unheavenly things throughout my life, I still know where I came from. A lot of you don't know where you came from. That's why you're still prisoners. You don't realize that you came from the heavenly and you got skills. You don't know that until your son didn't kill somebody, or just somebody in your family did something tragic. And you like, Dad, wow. Or somebody got sick and passed away, like, where'd that come from? They didn't eat right, maybe. They had bad decisions. Maybe they had some things they didn't like to have. I think everything is curable in some way or the other. I think if we try to take better care of ourselves, we can find cures for things. You got to remember, a lot of people think the things that they have that's going on with them is incurable, but it's not. It's just to the point where they don't know how to research things to find out that the government and the pharmaceutical company is not going to tell you there's a thing for that. If I had anything wrong with me, you can ask any of my doctors, let me give you that pill. I ain't taking that. Yeah, but it's that I ain't taking it. Bro, I'm not taking no pill that you pushing. Well, make you live longer, well, I'm just going to live shorter then. Come not taking no pills. And then you find out every time you take a pill, there's worse side effects than it is that it helps. So if you scientifically maybe ground yourself, look into grounding, look into meditation, look into knowing yourself, knowing your body, knowing the power that you have. Because see this, you breathe and this goes automatic pilot until you mess up. All the other things is really, some of this stuff is curable. Remember, some things didn't used to be curable, and now it's curable. How that happened? Because the pharmaceutical company wanted to keep filling you pills, and somebody like myself told you to do your research, and you can find out how to lose a 7-year-old that I used to carry around in my body all of my. I used to carry a 7-year-old. I got tired of looking like I was carrying a 7-year-old. So I decided not to carry a 7-year-old. It was simple as that. I'm not carrying a 7-year-old no more. So, look here. I gotta go. I'm here to encourage you. Again, first and foremost, to my clients yesterday, even my clients afterwards that I took to a wedding. We didn't talk a lot, but there's like William. They kept calling me William. They called me by my name. They ain't called me blah, blah, blah. They ain't slip that. William. They had respect for me. You know why they had respect for me? Not that I'm 64 years old, because you'll also hear out their mouth, you are not 64. I am 64. You don't look 64. Yeah, it's all right, but sometimes I feel like I'm 64. It don't matter. I don't need compliments. All this stuff I've done in my life didn't come from compliments. I didn't go in the Navy to get compliments. I didn't become a 36-year accepted employee driving a sub, bus, all that stuff to get compliments. I didn't become a guitar player, bass player, drummer, keyboard player for compliments. I didn't buy the studio for compliments. I'm not a limo driver for compliments. I wasn't a paraprofessional for compliments. Everything I've done, I want to help people. My community don't want me to help people because they don't even want me to help them. And that's what it comes down to, and that's the gist of this video. To thank the people who don't mind listening, who did not have to listen to a word I said yesterday for a whole dang near half hour because we're getting close to getting home. And when they got the car, she said, wow. See, my community won't ever say wow to me. It's not going to happen. But that's not going to, again, discourage me from doing anything because they ain't say wow. And I got all this about them saying wow. I've done anything in my life without them saying wow. Why do I need my community to say wow now? I don't. Don't need them. Don't care. I care about my friends who really support me. Unless I say on Facebook, I can have 5,000 people on Facebook. I got 30 people or more right now trying to be my friend. 30 people or more on Facebook. They lined up. They want to be my friend. They mean I got to delete a certain amount of friends and followers so I can get these friends. They can look at me from afar. I don't need to be friends. Look at my Facebook friends. That just happened because it just happened. 5,000 people friended me because they just want to friend me. They saw my face, probably looked at myself, and they friended me. Now I got 28, I think it was 28 the last, it's probably 35, maybe 40 now. They want to be my friend. All right, you can be my friend, that's got you, but you can be my friend without being my friend. Let's go buy my music. Go listen to my music. RaJuR, Real Deep Cool. Look it up. I'm all over the internet. I search myself on the internet just from time to time to see what comes up. And now my AI generated guy. AI found me. How many people can say that AI found them? You can say AI found your name and there's 20 other people with your name. But how many AI are going to find you? They're going to show you a face. They're going to tell you a Grammy member. How many people got that? See, my community don't care about that. But you, my clients, I know you do. This is for you. It was a long video, but I want you to understand, when you see me, when we talk, when we exchange numbers, I call you, are you ready? If you're ready right now, I'm ready to go right now. If not, take your time, come on out. Whatever you want to do, I'm here early for you if you want to leave early. Oh, come on, I want to leave right now. Okay, I'll be out in 5 minutes. Whatever. I got this company who always want to send me behaviors I've done. That's all they do. I get tips from passengers all the time, and all I get from them is, oh, you did a great job. No, I get, oh, you ran past this, you did this, you did. That's all they do, and that really don't matter, because I'll be working at another job pretty soon anyway. Hopefully very soon. So I won't have to deal with that. But I'll still like being a limo driver. And if they get tired of me having behaviors, I'll go somewhere else and meet clients. But right now, working with this company, I met some great people. I met millionaires. I met guys that came back from hunting elk, and we all crammed up in the goddamn SUV with elk heads up here. My man got an elk head up here, skinned the head off, got the thing about to point me in the eye. No, he didn't. I'm talking to millionaires. I talk to millionaires, and they have no problem talking to me. They have no problem communicating with me. They have no problem saying no. I don't ask for favors. Well, look, you're a millionaire. Can you put me here, put me there? I don't have to do that. I'm where I am, where I'm trying to be, where I'm at right now, and I'm totally happy with where I'm at. I can use a couple more dollars for sure. But see, if it was easy for me to live, it'd be easy for me to lose it. Million of people in the community who used to be millionaires, where are they now? Even people who hit the lottery for billions and billions of dollars. People in my community, where they at now? One last one, but I don't want it to be the last. The young lady who had a husband. He went to jail. She divorced him while he was in jail. Left her all this money. She flaunted on Facebook, telling him, I'm gonna I'm getting married. Flown on Facebook, making him look bad while he in jail. People in my community. She did that to him. She did that to him. Took all that man's money. She had money too, but decided to take his too. Divorced him. Marry somebody else. Show the ring to the young man while he's in jail. And didn't expect to lose her life when he got out. But who does that? As far as I know. I mean, there's some other communities that do that too. We've heard it. We've heard that. But I don't live in other communities. I live in this community right here. Right here. So it don't matter how much money you have. Because you may not have it up here. You have all the money in the world, you don't eat right. Now you end up stroking out or something. Who knows? What? When the last time you took your blood pressure? When the last time anybody looked at this video, which is one person, was three, how many times you take? I take my blood pressure every morning. When the last time you took a supplement, a vitamin? You don't care about yourself. I can't help you care about yourself. I can learn you something. I can learn you how, because I'm learning too. I'm trying to be an example for my community, but they don't want that. So the couple last night said, oh yeah, you need to start a channel and talk about that. You need to start a channel and talk about that. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your motivation. And again, let me know when you look at this video, what's the name you want me to name this channel? I'll start a new channel. I had to start a new channel. I couldn't use this channel. And we'll start a new channel, and we're going to get our thing going. We're going to help people realize they can do more in their life than what they're doing each and every day. That's got to be the most boring thing I ever saw in my life. I just couldn't live like that. I could never live like that. I'm just doing the same thing every day. It's mental. It's a mental thing. And this community, got to get out there mental. You got to start realizing they're not as important as they think they are. And you're going to have to lay down in bed and have a sleepless night and have to deal with yourself before you finally realize that you've been here all this time. The heavenly gave you all this time. Do the good, the bad, not so good. Do all that stuff. Gave you all this time, and you still doing the same thing you was doing 20, 30 years ago. You're still doing the same thing. I'll pray for you. Be encouraged. I care about you. I wouldn't be doing this video if I didn't. It's not about putting you down and excelling other people. You know, there's some of the things you got. If you do become somebody who's helping other people, you're gonna have some people still don't want you to do that. They don't want you to help. Don't tell me what I need to do. Don't tell me I need to stop eating pork. Don't tell me I need to. That's fine. Okay, go ahead. Just eat pork. Until they're on Facebook with tubes up in their arm because something happened to them because they're eating pork or whatever it might be, and now they want to Facebook you. And they up and who shows himself on Facebook with tubes in it? No. This guy gets sympathy. Wherever they go, they gotta get sympathy. And I gotta get ready to go.